All right, welcome everyone. Today we are going to dive deep into a topic that is just so central to our lives: emotional maturity. We'll break down what it is, what it actually looks like, and, how it shows up day to day.
So let's start with a big question. When you hear that word mature, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it age? Maybe having a stable job? And yeah, those things can be part of the picture. But real maturity? That goes so much deeper. It's all about our inner world and how we handle everything life throws at us.
So what is emotional maturity, really? Well, for starters, it's not some fixed trait that you're just born with. It's much better to think of it as a set of skills. Skills that you can actually develop and get better at over time with a little practice and self-awareness. When you really boil it down, emotional maturity is all about one huge shift. It's moving from a pure gut reaction to a thoughtful response. It's about creating that little bit of space, that pause, between a feeling and an action. And in that pause, that's where you get to make a conscious choice.
Okay, so where does this all start? Well, before we can even think about navigating our relationships with other people, we have to get a handle on our own internal landscape. This is where the real work begins. Just look at the difference here. In one scenario, your emotions are totally in the driver's seat, just taking you wherever they want to go. But in the other, you are. This skill, which we often call emotional regulation, is all about not letting a sudden rush of anger or frustration just grab the wheel and decide your next move. Another key skill here is the ability to delay gratification. Honestly, it's the engine for achieving pretty much anything meaningful in life. You might remember it from that famous marshmallow test, but we face this kind of choice every single day. It's choosing to go to the gym instead of hitting snooze, or saving up for a house instead of splurging on something you want right now, all because you've got a bigger, more important goal in mind.
So what happens when things go wrong? Because they will. That's where resilience comes in. See, resilience isn't about never failing. It's about how you process that failure. Instead of letting a setback completely crush your spirit, you bounce back. And you've learned something that makes you even stronger for whatever comes next.
And this brings up a really crucial question. Where does your sense of fulfillment actually come from? For someone who's emotionally mature, the answer isn't out there somewhere.
Now, this doesn't mean you don't value relationships. Of course you do. But it means you don't depend on someone else's validation or approval to feel whole. Your foundation is solid no matter what storms are swirling around you.
Now, once you start building that strong internal foundation, something amazing happens. It just naturally changes how you show up in the world. So let's take a look at how all this inner work totally transforms our connections with other people. This is where those skills we've been building really start to shine.
This right here, this is a total game changer. Shifting from blame to solutions is an absolute cornerstone of maturity. Instead of wasting all that energy pointing fingers when something goes wrong, the focus immediately pivots to ownership and asking a simple, powerful question. Okay, what can I do to help fix this?
Having a teachable spirit just means you recognize that you don't have all the answers. It's about approaching conversations with real curiosity, trying to see things from their side, and ultimately, it's valuing learning something new way more than just winning an argument.
And boundaries. This one is so important. It's about understanding your own limits, emotionally, mentally, all of it, and being able to communicate them clearly. But just as important, it's about honoring the boundaries of other people too. It's a true sign of mutual respect.
Emotionally mature people understand that forgiveness isn't about letting someone else off the hook. It's about freeing yourself. See, holding on to a grudge is like choosing to carry this big, heavy weight around all day. And forgiveness, that's just the simple act of choosing to put that weight down.
It's so important to remember this next part. Nobody, and I mean nobody, gets this perfect all the time. Emotional maturity isn't some finish line you cross one day and you're done. It's a continuous path of learning and growing.
Because that's really what it is, isn't it? It's a practice. Every single day, every interaction, every challenge, it's just another chance to practice. A chance to pause, to choose empathy, to take responsibility, and to respond to life with just a little more thought.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this question to think about. Looking back at all these different hallmarks, from resilience to setting boundaries to forgiveness, which one really resonates with you right now? Which one feels like it might be your next step on this journey? Thanks so much for tuning in.